Good evening. This is a continuation of the hearing of August 28th regarding appeals to the BCA from decisions of the listers on the values of properties of Luis Ubinas and Deborah Tolman, Gretchen Hauser, and the Lynch family. We are going to be considering the reports of the inspection committees that were appointed to review those properties and receive any additional testimony from anybody who comes who was previously sworn. Is there someone coming up?
I don't
No.
think so.
And after we've talked about the reports, we're going to move into deliberative session and make decisions on each one of the properties. So we're going to go through the three reports first, then into deliberative session after that. Any questions? Okay. So the first one to report is on Gretchen Hauser.
Yes.
Which is you.
No, it's me.
No, I was Marissa. I'm sorry. I should know that's right here.
Sorry. It was me, Katie, and Carol.
So would you like to go over your inspection?
Sure. We made the inspection on Monday, September 8th at 9 a.m. She was present and accompanied us into the house, showed us where the property line was in the front, etc. Just to kind of simplify this, we were all of the opinion that the house was not worth what the appraisal was. We weren't exactly sure what it might be worth, but we were pretty clear it wasn't worth that. The question still exists about the R5 and R6. The area in question, I mean, it's not obvious what the differences are in terms of the neighborhood. It's modest homes. It's not a fancy development by any means. The house next door is on the market for $325, which I think it's contingent, so somebody has a contract on it. We did note one major difference which was that there was a fourth bedroom, which wasn't on the property card. The room number was correct, but not the number of bedrooms. It hadn't been updated in quite some time. I can't remember. Might never have been updated in terms of
She
the
never
kitchen.
updated.
She never did.
Because
Yeah.
the kitchen
Yeah.
was that way when
Yeah.
she moved in. We asked
Yeah.
about updates and stuff.
Yeah. So we looked at the other values, in terms of Zillow and Trulia, and they were all in the high fives. And the comparables were also in the fives, and we didn't think that one extra bedroom was worth $100,000 difference from the other properties.
Yeah, like the one she was comparing it
Yeah.
to had the same number of rooms. They
Yeah.
were each 7.
Yeah.
His was 3 and hers was 4.
Right.
So I'm not sure, since you can't go into
The other,
that house to actually compare.
Right.
And if that was wrong, hers
we don't.
was his wrong. I don't know.
We don't know.
But that's what we used as comparison because
Right.
that's
Right.
like kinds,
Yeah, there's a very steep driveway, which we can imagine is a difficult thing to live with because it's very steep.
I didn't go up.
Yeah, she didn't.
I parked down below.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough room to
Yeah.
take
So
my
you
truck and
walked
turn
up?
around.
Did you
So
walk?
I walked up,
No.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So our assessment was that it should be reduced. I would have to say we put something in here, but I'm not sure we, can say exactly whether it should be that number or
Right.
another number, but clearly not the 650.
And why can we not get an answer to the R5 versus R6? And which one is the higher value?
R6 is the
R6.
higher,
R6, and
Yeah.
she is R6?
right?
Do we know what the difference in the value of the land is between 6 and 5?
20,000, I think, per acre.
Yes.
$20,000?
Yes.
Yeah, 20,000 per
Yeah.
acre.
Yes.
So the next door neighbor is a 5 and she's a 6?
Yeah,
And there's a
Yeah.
$20,000 difference?
right, and the properties, I mean, it's the same land. I mean, it's steep and it goes up to the Mount Holly border,
Yeah.
so it's all wooded. I mean, it's not open.
Right, she doesn't have a lot of land that's
Yeah,
landscaped.
no.
You know, most of it's
Forest.
just up there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well, we'll save the discussion
Yeah.
of
okay.
the value
Okay.
Yeah.
until we're in deliberative
Okay.
session.
Okay, it's just to me, if that makes I don't understand why we can't get an answer to that.
There was some.
I do
Is
recall
that
that the listers had
Lister?
said there would be an answer to that.
That's what I thought.
At
Part of
our-
the problem, I think, and your husband was talked about this a little bit. They used an outside firm, and that outside firm was very distant, I guess I'd call it,
Right,
and hard to get answers.
right, and the and I did
Okay.
approach the listers. I spoke to the chair and I asked what the difference was between R6 and an R5. And he had said it was just a subjective designation of, well, if one person had a gravel drive and somebody had a paved drive, or there was something that delineated it being a little bit different or nicer than.
A better position lot as opposed, I mean,
Perhaps, maybe a
Okay.
flat lot versus
Yeah.
a elevated lot, but it was fairly subjective, it was not written down. And what I was told today is it was just somebody drew a line and said, this is R5 and this is R6.
Yeah. Certainly wasn't a better driveway, I can
Yeah.
tell you that.
Yeah.
And hers is
So-
gravel too, so it
Yeah.
wasn't obvious
And there are
looking at the
two,
neighborhood.
there are two garages or two outbuildings?
She has one, a built-in garage, like a one-car garage in with the house, and then she has a separate garage.
Oh, I see.
Is that single?
It's I can't remember, but it was
I
valued at
remember the
11.5. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't fancy.
Okay,
So did you look up the Zillow estimate for the
Yeah,
houses?
I did.
So I'm confused as to,
Let's not go
Oh,
into
oh, she's not going
deliberation.
into numbers.
oh,
okay, great, okay.
No,
I'll
I
ask-
just, you
no, I
understand what I'm
understand.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
talking about value.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
This is a fact finding. Any questions
Right.
about the facts as Marissa and her committee have.
Katie, did you have anything to add?
No, that pretty much sums it up. I mean, I definitely was just more questioning the extra bedroom, but I don't think that a bedroom is is that, I mean, I don't want to talk about value again, but that's the only thing was just the cards were incorrect, and the driveway was really steep and a little touch and go. I can see how it's really difficult in the winter. And that is it.
I'll just introduce what the listers used as comparisons, if you would. They used two houses on the same street. Yeah, the comparables were Hibbert and
there was a D.
Vittorio or something.
Trulia and.
No, that's the,
Yeah.
no, that's the website, those are websites.
Oh, those are websites, sorry.
Oh, Hibbert, Johnston and Vitolo.
Vitolo, yeah.
Oh, totally.
Yep.
so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
We are set then to do the report on the Lynch property. Jim can't be here. Brian, will you cover that?
Sure, absolutely. So it was Jim Linville, Katie Fitzpatrick, and myself. We inspected on Monday, September 8th. And we were guided through the house by Brian Knight, who was the same gentleman who had given, was on Zoom and had given the analysis that was provided. If you remember, there was a lengthy report. Our inspection confirmed the general layout of the house. I'll just brief from here. We judged the condition of the house to be consistent with the lister's evaluation. It had fantastic views looking at Magic Mountain, and those views were right from the kitchen and the back part of the house there. The kitchen itself was in good shape, although we did observe that both the kitchen and the baths were a bit dated, but they were in good shape. There was a comment in the report from Brian Knight that the basement was being considered finished in the report, and that was not correct. We confirmed the basement is unfinished, and I also confirmed that in the report, the lister's report, the actual square footage of the basement was not included in the 3,122 square feet. The 3-season porch was also discussed in the report. I think it was they're feeling that it should not be included because it was not a room that is, I believe they said insulated, but we observed the room to be a very finished room, high ceiling, brick finished flooring and a heater in the wall. So from our perspective, it was a finished space. And then there was another discussion in the Lynch report about the room over the garage. And we did walk that room. It was in great shape, as they said it was. But to their point, you do have to go through the garage to get to that space. So we did not, as we stated here, we don't have an opinion as to the statutes. They put it, there is a statute in there that we will discuss later, I guess, regarding how that valuation should be considered, because it's not within the same square footage of the immediate house.
So that you could, if you had, somebody could drive their car up, go through the garage and go straight to that room.
And walk up to that room.
Okay.
Correct. You could, but and from the house, you have to step out into the garage to find the steps up to that room. And that room is just like a family media room. It wasn't like an apartment with a kitchen or anything like that.
Okay. Was it plumbed? Was there a bathroom?
No, there was not. Then in terms of the property, we walked the grounds. There was a lot of discussion in their report about how steep it was in many places, and that is true. A lot of it was. They have 68 acres. But we also found that there were some areas where it, off the driveway where it wasn't that steep, and we thought there might be an opportunity. Katie, if I'm missing something, chime in. But
No, you're hitting everything so far.
okay, we thought there might be opportunity there to do some subdivision and such, if that was to be considered within the value. The last piece is just that I had dug a little bit deeper, and I think we'll discuss this more in deliberate session, but so you have the house value, and I think we all agreed the house value, which here have a number of, we agree with the house value that the listers gave for the actual house. But then the land, as you know, is divided up. You have the land that goes immediately with the house, the 2 acres, which is always valued higher than the other. So you've got the 66 other acres. So the piece that I would like, 66, so it's a total of 68 acres. So the 2 acres with the land.
With the house.
With the house, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Thank you. The 2 acres with the house. I believe from the numbers that I've looked at in comparisons, were valued a lot higher than the comp. So that's something I would like to talk about in valuation. But the home value itself, we thought was similar to what the lister said. And
Well, I don't know the property. Is it on the side of a hill or what?
it's Holden Hill, and it's all the way at pretty much at the end. So
On the right, if you're going south, is it on the right side?
bad with
No,
directions.
it's directly at, so if you're going down Holden Hill, no, not, so if you're going down, you take a left on Holden
Yeah.
Hill, and it's literally like smack down at the end. Like
At the end, correct.
Yeah, it's right at the end.
Past-
Yeah.
What's the property that you know? The
It's
person
it's right next to the Proudies. It's their next door neighbors.
beyond the Proudy
On
at
that
the
side.
very
Yeah,
end.
they
On the
border
opposite side of the- right,
the
on the
Proud,
opposite side of the
yeah, the
Proudies.
Proudies line and the Lynch line border each other.
Who was the previous owner?
I do not know that.
Bill, do
Probably a Foster.
Could be.
Could have been a Proudy.
we- okay.
Could have been a Proudy.
Yeah, so that's it. So the other part we'll talk about in deliberation in terms of the values of the different pieces of land.
So, I thought, was there some discussion about some of that land being wetland? And so it wasn't, that was
Yes.
their argument about it not being.
That was part of it. There was two arguments. There was true. It was the wetland and also the part that it was very steep, over 15% grade, a
Right.
lot of it, which we did see some of it was. So the wetland part that we did check A&R map, it is listed as wetland there. We walked part of that that was adjacent to the driveway. And we, from our uninstructed minds, felt that it was definitely buildable, the part of that land. So there may be some of it further out. We didn't go all 60 acres. We went maybe to 3 or 4, or that we felt could definitely be built upon.
Because it didn't seem wet.
Did not.
It
Right,
did
Katie,
not-
the area that we
it-
walked?
I mean, listen, I went bushwhacking with Jim Linville. It was and it was in Brian, and it was really dry and buildable. I mean, I don't know that
With what's
but
happening
it was
We are
It just
jumping.
had, it just hadn't been cleared, it had, it had, all the other properties around had maintained a clearing over a period of years, it seemed like, but this just had not been maintained.
You haven't had rain in a month.
That's right,
Yeah.
More
exactly,
than
that's
that,
part of
month
it.
and a half, almost two.
And I would say when I looked at those, the value that they put on those 66 acres, the per acre value was substantially lower than the comps that they'd given us. I don't know, and again, this is some of my ignorance with not knowing how the listers do it, but I know that as you get into more and more acreage, the values come down a little bit. But I don't know if that was the only valuation, or also, were they also, bringing down the valuation because of the steepness or because of the wetland part, so.
I have a question, but I don't know if I have to wait or not. But did it become steeper than it was when it was the last time assessed? I
Probably
mean,
not,
how's it different?
probably not, but
Is it
but
wetter
the
than-
assessment went for, as far as their assessment more than doubled, so that's.
But the trails that even in the area that was steep, yes, there was, that part of the property that is steep that goes down kind of in
Right.
like a triangle kind of space. If you're looking at the view and it goes down, it kind of like comes to a peak down at the bottom. Brian walked the property down there a little bit more than I did and walked around. It was walkable. I mean, you
First
could,
part was walkable, right, where I went with night, and then.
yeah,
when you went
walkable,
to the
and
right,
then it goes straight down.
Goes to-
But
yeah.
there are, there's definitely some space that can be used there too.
Yeah, I think that was within, I think that first part that you're talking about when I was walking up, right?
Yep.
I think that was within the 2 acres of the house part.
Okay, yeah.
I have a question, if I may.
Sure.
Do they have a separate driveway from the Proudies, or is it a combination?
So I
driveway?
believe that they share that driveway up to the point of where the Proudies go, and then from then on, it becomes a private driveway. That is my assumption.
So how it
It's-
works
it's
is
a driveway.
you're on. So
It's
if you're
private
on
driveway.
Hold,
Oh, yeah. Yes,
yeah. So if you're on Holden Hill, if you take a left onto Holden Hill Road, the Proudies to the left have a driveway that that kicks off on the left, and then for the apartment above their garage, there's another little pull-off little driveway right there, and then it's just a straight shot directly to the Lynch house.
right.
And then there is like kind of like a rounded, there's like it's the road straight shot, but then there is kind of like an opening rounded driveway that has like, it like hits where the grass is right there, and then it hits the garage.
Can you see the Proudy house from the Lynch house?
No.
Yes. No, you can, no, you can't see the house. Sorry, you can see the edge of the property, but you can't see,
Yeah, you
like,
can't see the house.
you can't see their house.
Any questions for Ron? Or Katie? Okay, thank you. I think what we'll do is move on to the Venus.
It's me. And it's us, sorry, it's me to report. I'm really sorry, guys. You all managed to do 1 page and mine is 3 pages. I just got carried
Listen,
away.
I got plenty more to add to
No,
that,
no.
believe me.
I think it deserves 3 pages.
Got an A
Yeah.
for content.
Yeah.
Oh, good, okay, great, perfect. So we inspected on September 8th, Monday, 10 a.m. The three, Deb Tolman was there and walked around with us, which was terrific. So, I think I was pretty explicit here about the house, which is just incredibly lovely and unique. They've offered some comparables, but this house is unique in its architectural detailing, this sweeping staircase, the wooden staircase that goes up to the upper level, and these huge windows, and I think the uniqueness too of having an indoor lap pool, having
Fireplaces.
right, 5 working fireplaces.
Floor to ceiling fieldstone, gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, it's and wonderful views and outdoor spaces, as well as a variety of indoor spaces, from
Mhm.
smaller sort of cozy rooms to, an extravagant living room with 2-story high
Two.
bookshelves and all of that. And
a rumpus room, not a rumpus room, but a,
Right,
what do
Playroom,
you, playroom?
a playroom upstairs,
Huge.
which was
Huge.
pool table.
pool
Yeah.
table and ping pong
And
table
table.
and seating area.
Mhm. Yeah.
So there was just there, so the inspection report there, I'm sorry, the listers report reports 17 rooms. There are not 17 rooms in this main house. Some of those rooms are in the guest house or apartment, which is over the garage on the edge of the property. So they're not 17 rooms in that main house. The basement is not really finished. It has a gravel floor, you know, shelves and stuff for storage, and they've put down a large rubber mat where they have a in-home gym, I don't know, 5 or
This is
6.
the main house.
This is in the
That's the
main
main
house,
house.
sorry. Several pieces of equipment, and that basement opens out onto the yard and opens out and has windows and a door out onto the yard. We didn't walk the property. You can see that there's, you know, and there must be 4 acres of mowed lawn and landscaped property, including a large pond and landscaping around the pond and then across the road. So the property slopes down. Do you need my hands? Probably not, but the
That's okay.
property
do it.
slopes down to the road. And then there's a grassy area across the road of about maybe half an acre that they keep mowed as well.
And gorgeous views.
And, right, spectacular views, Stratton and Bromley from some places. The one odd facet of it is that upstairs, there are 2 stairways upstairs. That grand sweeping staircase goes to the front part of the upstairs. There's a back staircase, narrow, that goes to the back part of the upstairs, and the connection between back and front upstairs is through a bathroom. Which is a little bit odd, but
Very.
I had that at my house.
Okay, well, there you go.
You're fine.
Yeah, right.
Probably
have to
The-
stop there on your way.
We, not only is that, I mean, the house is architecturally beautiful, it's incredibly well maintained. You know, wonderful attention to detail everywhere. The guest house adjacent property is completely hidden from the main, or mostly hidden from the main house by trees and bushes and things, and it's right down next to Piper Hill Road. There's only you know, about the width of 1 car length to go into the garage. It's an apartment over a garage, over a 2-car garage. There's virtually no land around it. There's a little bit of a sloping yard that somebody put a child's jungle gym and 1 chair there. There's only 1 entrance to the house, to that apartment. It's a open area with a slightly dated kitchen, I would say, and then a table to eat at, and then a living room, kind of, you know, a sitting area with a wood stove. 2 small bedrooms facing south. That main room there faces north and faces into the shrubbery, and then there's a bathroom and a half. Both are small. We thought that the house itself, so the listers divided the value. They valued the main house at 2.7, roughly 2.7 million. The listers value on the guest house or additional apartment was 312, and we thought that was high because it's such a small space. It's not particularly amenable to, you couldn't sell it separately. You couldn't imagine selling it separately. It could be potentially a rental property or a place where a caretaker could live. But again, you couldn't really have a family there. There are only 2 small bedrooms. You could have a family. It would be tight.
Small.
Yeah. And there's virtually no yard space. So we thought
1 bath,
1.5.
1.5.
Yeah. So we thought that the value of the house was probably correct, including the value of the land. We thought that the value of that adjacent property was too high at 312.
Linda, how many acres is on?
9.7, I think.
So,
9.3.
The small building is not subdivided, it's all one parcel, right?
Yeah,
And unlikely to be subdividable.
it would be basically the footprint of the house and,
It wouldn't
you know,
be
100 yards maybe.
You have a 2 acre minimum for a
Yeah.
house, so
Yeah.
you take that small
Yeah.
apartment
Yeah.
and 2 acres of their main property, you know,
Yeah.
that's something.
And that
Alright.
house is, and that is actually a 2-car garage with the apartment above it, right?
Yes.
That's what the building is.
Right.
It is.
Okay,
yeah.
any further questions?
Do they have another garage for the main house or is that
Oh,
their
yes, it's
garage?
a 3-car garage attached to the main house.
Attached.
Yeah,
Nice cars too.
nice car.
Isn't that what Steve said it was worth too from his assessment? Because
Yes,
his assessment was without the guest house, correct?
They were, that's what it looked like to us when we looked at his assessment,
But he
because when
must-
he mentions it briefly,
yeah,
Ms. Tolman said, oh, no, he included it.
he must have, because
We're not
how,
in the
because
report.
It's not a
it's
separate
only
property.
one parcel, so he.
Yeah, but
he
his
couldn't-
square foot of that Steve has on the report is less than the square footage that.
So his
is
square
there.
footage of 7,000, just, I know this is not
Right.
my report, so I'm sorry, but I just
No,
happened to
please.
know this because I looked.
Yeah.
If 7,049 is what's on the, not the lister's card, but we call it the property card, is that the one
Yeah.
that's online? That's what it says on the property card, so I think that's where
7,000?
Steve pulled it from.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't do that research.
And it's not correct, as you said.
If there's nothing more on
Okay.
this subject, we can go, I think.
You certainly may, we need a motion, right, and a
We'll
second,
make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
so who made the motion?
Bill made it,
Bill.
and Donna, also known as Carol, seconded.
Oh my, okay, I'm going to pause.
Yeah,
Let's-
Oh,
Previous.
I know, so I apologize, I
That's why
forgot
they
to
withdrew.
turn it
Not
back
all of
on.
them, not all of them.
But
Some of
we
them.
came out of deliberative session at 7:09. Wayne has been given, is going to draft the decisions and bring them to me and I will send them out to
Within
the,
15 days.
within 15 days and I will get them out to the appellants with the
And that's a
decisions.
summary of what was not recorded,
That is a summary of what was not recorded because I forgot to turn it back on to
because
you.
we're now, we're back on recording now.
Yes, we are.
But Wayne, you're going to write those up and then circulate them with us for our approval, and then it will go out to the
Yes.
appellants, is that
Yeah,
right?
okay, that's what that's.
Got
what
it, perfect,
this
yes.
question.
So now we
Yeah.
need another motion to adjourn. Because the
Would
first
you like-
motion
Would you
wasn't,
like to do that?
no, oh, yes, I move we adjourn.
Second.
Sorry,
Linda
no,
says aye.
Aye.
Linda was the first and who was
Aye.
the second? Marissa.
Marissa, she got
Thank
through.
you, everybody, thank you, Katie,
Thank
for
you.
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Yeah, good work. I mean, that.
So we have no more
Fair.
meetings scheduled.
No more meetings.
Right.